Hello and welcome to Manga 96, and today we're going to talk about that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Today's topic will be Tempest's greatest genius, even if he doesn't look the part, his trusted dog slash wolf partner and his demon teacher. I'm of course talking about Gobta, Ranga and Hakurou. But before we start, here's the spoiler warning, as I'll be spoiling a lot of things in this video, so if you don't want to be spoiled, I would highly recommend that you go and read the light novel, as it is an enjoyable read. For everyone else, let's start with who Gobta is. Gobta is a hobgoblin who belongs to the first group that was named by Rimuru. He is one of the first martial arts students of Hakurou ever since the latter evolved into a Kijin. He lives in the capital city of Jura Tempest Federation, Rimuru City. Though he is considered a fool, he proves to be a very competitive individual when the situation calls for it. His prowess on the battlefield surprises many. He is a natural airhead and an idiot, but is a hidden genius. As the Goblin Rider's vice captain and the later captain, he is actually unexpectedly brilliant. He is a heavy sleeper. While he and Rimuru are detained in the Dwarf Kingdom, he sleeps throughout the entire imprisonment. In the anime, during his fight with Gabiru, Rimuru wonders if Gobta isn't actually a prodigy of some sorts. Not only does he look like a goblin after being named, but his head and nose are also more round-shaped. He shares some of the traits of Rimuru, as trusting his friends above everything. This was seen when Gobuzu was falsely accused by Kirara. As for his past, during his journey to Dwargon, 4 months prior to Rimuru's involvement, he was beaten black and blue. Then he got picked up by a group of kobold merchants. If they hadn't found him, he might have died. However, during the entire journey, he was showed a great amount of good luck. As for his abilities, Gobta was the first hobgoblin to succeed in summoning a Tempest Wolf and performing Shadow Step. Before evolving, he was able to journey to obtain tools and cooking equipment by walking to Dwargon on foot, in the demon-infested territory. According to Grusias, Gobta is the best among the hobgoblins. Despite being a lower class monster, he has genius level fighting instincts that can win against an elite. He is a skilled swordsman and can hold his own in a sword duel or massive battle. After being named by Rimuru and constant training with his master to maintain or improve his skills has further increased in skill with a blade. As for his weapon of choice, he wields an enhanced short sword Kodachi with 2 magic gems in the hilt that was created for him by Kurube for his victory against Gabiru as promised by Rimuru. The sword had an enhancement in each gem, Ice Lance and Black Lightning. The sheath of the sword also had a collide wire and magic steel lineage in the inside and a replaceable projectile in the bottom. When energized with Black Lightning, it forces the projectile out like a railgun. It is stated that Rimuru decreed that this is the only gun allowed to be created, as he trusted only Gobta with such a powerful and revolutionary weapon. As for his relationship with Rimuru, he was among the first goblins to be named by him. Despite their close relationship, Rimuru easily gets annoyed by him. He is the only one of his subordinates who is able to address him casually as reward for the tournament. As for his relationship with Rigur, Gobta's former boss with the Goblin Riders, when Rigur was still the captain of the Goblin Riders, he viewed Gobta as a troublesome subordinate and had to apologize to Rimuru for his subordinates' misconducts. However, there didn't seem to be any shy problems when it came to actual battle, considering Rigur, Gobta and Ranga were holding off the Ogre's tribe remnants by themselves before Rimuru arrived. Though the Ogres weren't going all out until that point. After the Jura Tempest Federation opened diplomatic relation with the Beast Kingdom, Eurozania, and Rimuru making him the first of his acting diplomats to the Beastman Kingdom, Rigur giving Gobta his position as the captain of the Goblin Riders. As for his relationship with the red-haired Goblina. In the light novel, during Gobta's first trip to Dwargon, he came into contact with a blade tiger and had to be rescued by a caravan of kobolds guarded by some hobgoblins and a Goblina. He fell in love at first sight, but the Goblina told him that she had no interest in cowards. During Gobta's returning trip, he was invited by the kobolds to join them and run into the blade tiger again, but this time he managed to save the kobolds by taking care of the tiger. After that, Gobta told her he will continue to get stronger and bid her farewell. Moving on to Ranga. Ranga is one of the first group of subordinates named by Rimuru. He's extremely loving and loyal subordinate of Rimuru, who almost always resides in his master's shadow and absorbing his energy until called for or when otherwise necessary. He is the leader of the Tempest Wolf clan and the son of the previous boss of the Dire Wolves. He is very proud and a loyal monster. Towards Rimuru, he retains many of the traits of a dog, such as loyalty, wagging his tail when he is happy, licking Rimuru, being protective and always wanting to please his master. He is also willing to give everything including his own life for Rimuru's happiness and will do everything within his power to make that happen. Towards outsiders, he comes across as a scary, ferocious beast. He is very blunt with outsiders and does not show any form of politeness. He tends to appear annoyed and suspicious of outsiders. As for his past, he was the son of the Fanged Wolf boss. After his father lost and was absorbed by Rimuru, he and his pack became Rimuru's followers after the battle, holding no grudges against him. As for his abilities, Ranga can summon other wolves. Due to his size, he is able to create small whirlwinds simply by vigorously wagging his tail. This tail wagging is seen to be capable of destroying a small goblin-built building. He lurked within Rimuru's shadow, absorbing his magiculus while constantly reimagining his body, eventually evolving into a Tempest Star Wolf. He can carry 2 people on his back using the Shadow Step. After his relationship with Rimuru, even though Rimuru killed his father, Ranga bears no malice. After all, Rimuru forgave them and also gave them a name. The moment Rimuru regained consciousness after giving him a name, Ranga began following him wherever he went, serving as his mount and a pillow for whenever Rimuru decided to sleep. He can almost always be found sleeping or waiting in Rimuru's shadow, ready to come out whenever needed. He has a very strong desire to be of use to him, even if he'd give Rimuru a simple ride on his back. Due to the fact he resides in Rimuru's shadow, he has absorbed an insane amount of his aura and magiculus. This is why he advanced so quickly into a Tempest Star Wolf. As for his relationship with Shion, like Shion, the two tend to overdo things. He has a healthy respect for her and often agrees with her aggressiveness in dealing with Rimuru's detractors and enemies, as was witnessed in their team-up in their battle against Karibudis. Moving on to Hakurou. Hakurou is one of the first group of subordinates to be named by Rimuru. He as well lives in the capital city of the Jura Tempest Federation, Rimuru City. He is an elderly swordsman whose skill was already legendary even as an unnamed ogre, but after being accepted and named by Rimuru, he gets even stronger. He is usually calm. Although he is at the age to be someone's grandpa, his spirit is clearly years younger. He is able to correctly identify the skills Rimuru uses to incapacitate Kurube, Shion and Suoe, and the monsters they originated from just by seeing them used once. He trains Tempest warriors, including Rimuru himself, in swordsmanship and is notoriously strict at that. However, he hates being called old man. If someone violates this, he'll usually respond by slightly drawing his katana and shooting in them to increase the exercise load or depth, along with a sharp but deadly look. As for his past, Hakurou is the descendant of the master swordsman Byakuya Araki. He was the ogre's sharp martial instructor and the strongest swordsman of the Royal Guard. He is also the one that trained Gazel Dwargo in the swordsmanship 300 years ago. Despite ogres only having an average lifespan of about 100 years, he miraculously managed to live for over 300 years as an ogre before meeting Rimuru and extending his lifespan through evolution into a Kijin. As for his abilities, though Hakurou was nameless, he never ventured out into the world, thus he quietly polished his sword skills. He became the strongest swordsman in the ogre's tribe Royal Guard. He even surpassed the tribe's head despite being a mixed race. Hakurou is a master swordsman. Having blemishly strength, he is able to match his presence and body temperature. His perception ability is accelerated by 1000 times via tough acceleration that he gained from Rimuru when being named. He was granted the title of instructor by Rimuru. Magical energy escaped from Hakurou's body, mixed with that of his surroundings, and then reassembled. The amount of that energy in his body did not change, however its quality did. The middle-aged Kijin was reinvigorated, giving him the look of being in the prime of his life. He uses his sword technique to overwhelm his enemies, not his physical abilities. That's notably based on the fact that while in terms of the usual monster evolution criterion of magical capacity, he's only considered a A rank. Due to his proficiency with a sword and training in various arts, he reached special A rank based on how humans are normally evaluated. When sparring against Demon Lord Milim, not even his attacks reach her. However, he can put up a fight which is impressive in itself. As for his relationship with Rimuru, Hakurou is loyal to Rimuru and they are also friends. He gave Rimuru some swordsmanship lessons to teach him how to mainly rely on his massive amount of power if the opponent has a technique that could suppress his massive amount of power. He even gives Rimuru advice to help him in his leadership. As for his relationship with Gobta, Hakurou seems to get along with Gobta and they are good friends. As his combat teacher, he trained Gobta in the art of combat and swordsmanship. As time passed, he and Gobta became almost like a family. With this, I covered everything that I wanted to cover on Gobta, Ranga and Hakurou. And that will be all for this video. If you like this video, leave a like, leave your thoughts in the comments below or subscribe to the channel for more manga reviews and One Piece content. And until next time, take care.